The Goblin King's massive green hand is instantly bound tight by the glowing golden chains. Seeing the oversized boss trapped, a white-robed male adventurer flies straight up into the air surrounded by glowing symbols, declaring that this is finally their chance to kill him. Down below, the purple-haired adventurer charges forward holding a glowing blue sword. Floating high above, the white-robed adventurer fires off multiple yellow energy blasts downward to heavily barrage the boss. A severed green hand violently hits the rocky ground. Gobichang stands there holding his bloody stump, glaring furiously at the humans and warning them not to push him any further. But the purple-haired adventurer isn't intimidated in the slightest. He confidently scoffs right back at the monster, promising to push him until he dies and asking what he's going to do about it. With a fierce battle cry, the purple-haired adventurer aggressively slashes his glowing sword downward. Following up the combo, the adventurer quickly slashes right through Gobichang's torso, but his blade just phases uselessly through a weird, purple, ghostly form. The adventurer looks completely shocked as the attack misses its mark. Watching the desperate struggle from the sidelines, the disguised Lin Tion remains completely calm. Suddenly, Gobichang's giant green body begins melting down entirely into a massive green puddle right in front of them. Holding his sword, the purple-haired adventurer looks down in absolute shock, wondering out loud what just happened and why the boss suddenly melted. The large puddle of green slime spreads across the ground before rapidly starting to harden. A tall, green cocoon-like structure quickly forms right out of the puddle. Realizing exactly what's happening, the purple-haired adventurer screams out in sheer panic, recognizing it as a cocoon and desperately yelling for his team to destroy it before the monster can be reborn. Without a second thought, he violently slashes a massive blue energy wave directly at the cocoon. But as the dust settles, a terrible realization sets in. Looking completely desperate, he cries out to his captain, revealing that his magic attack didn't work at all. Striking the green cocoon directly with his sword, he frantically shouts that the shell is as hard as iron and they can't pierce it. Realizing the sheer danger they are in, the captain quickly orders a full retreat, warning his team that there is something seriously wrong with this monster. Sweating profusely, the purple-haired adventurer completely panics. Suddenly, the green cocoon violently explodes in a massive burst of green energy. From within the thick green mist, a humanoid insect foot slowly steps down onto the ground. As the smoke clears, a tall, incredibly muscular humanoid insect creature stands tall, marveling at its brand new body. Standing proudly, the newly evolved Gobichang declares that his new form is absolutely perfect. The insect creature tilts its head down to glare at the humans. Staring back at the terrifying new boss, the purple-haired adventurer looks absolutely terrified. Without wasting another second, the massive insect creature commands his giant insect monsters to tear the humans apart. The large monster's shadow looms ominously over the cavern as it roars aggressively. Seeing the terrifying beasts close in, a female adventurer screams for everyone to run. The purple-haired adventurer can only watch in absolute horror as a giant insect rapidly approaches his team. Beside him, one of the human adventurers breaks down crying, desperately begging the captain to save him. Suddenly, the female adventurer screams out her teammate's name in pure terror. In a horrific instant, a silhouetted figure is violently impaled, spraying blood everywhere across the cavern walls. The purple-haired adventurer looks down at his own body, shocked and bleeding heavily from the brutal attack. Walking over casually, the insect creature calmly speaks down to the defeated human. Standing triumphantly over the bleeding adventurer, the newly evolved boss mocks him, stating that with the little magic power he had left, he never should have been wandering around here. He casually admits that if the human had actually activated his light element form, he might not have been able to withstand the attack. With his victory secured, the insect creature spreads his arms wide and laughs maniacally. He proudly declares that with this new power, he no longer needs to be afraid of being hunted by the Kingdom of Swords, promising that his sandworm kingdom will finally rise right here in this desert. But his grand victory speech is suddenly interrupted. The disguised Lin Tion casually steps right out from the shadows, smoothly telling the boss that he also wants a piece of his kingdom. Smiling wickedly with one glowing red eye shining from under his hood, the tiny goblin asks if he can have a share. The massive insect creature snaps his head back in pure surprise, completely shocked to see the little runt again. He aggressively demands to know how that piece of trash is still alive, furiously asking what goblin tribe he actually comes from. As the boss stares down the grunt, a massive, terrifying demonic aura takes the shape of a shadowy figure standing right behind the disguised Lin Tion. A thought crosses the insect creature's mind as he senses the massive threat, realizing that despite looking like a low-class goblin, that tiny runt actually possesses incredibly strong demonic energy. Cursing out loud, he wonders how he's going to get rid of this dangerous new enemy without it. Deciding to just crush him with raw power, the insect creature violently activates his sandstorm domain skill, aggressively summoning a massive tornado right in the middle of the cavern.